Okay, we are now going to start doing PowerPoint, and you are going to prepare a presentation for the company. Step number 37, you've got to create a master slide with the following styles. Okay, before we start the question, let's open up Microsoft PowerPoint 2007, and a master slide, you have to click on View and Slide Master. Don't forget, Slide Master is the top slide, numbered 1. Okay, it says title should be a 36-point serif font, which is Times New Roman and centered. So I click on the titles, I click on home, I change the size to 36, so I change the font to Times New Roman, and it's make sure it's centered. Then it says subtitles should be an 18-point serif font and left aligned. Okay, to change subtitles, you got to click on the second slide. This is the heading, this is bullets. On the second slide, this is the subtitle. So I change the font to 18 and make it Times New Roman and left aligned. Now I click back on the top slide to do my bullets. Bullets should be left aligned and consistent. So I click on the bullets, they're left aligned. I'll change the font to 28. Make sure the font is less than the title, and make it Times New Roman for consistency. Okay, that's all my 3 styles complete. Now you have to go on to making a design on the slide, and your design has to look like this picture. Okay, you need 2 vertical lines down the left of the slide. So you click on Insert, Shapes, and I draw my first vertical line down the left. Keep it as straight as possible, going right the way to the bottom of the slide. Then I go to Insert Shapes again, and I draw my second vertical line down the slide, keeping it as straight as possible. I also need a horizontal line going across the width of the slide, about 3 centimeters from the top, about, so you can estimate that. So go to Insert Shapes, 3 centimeters, and make it below the master title style, and keep it as straight as possible, and there we go. Now we have to make all the lines 3 points. So I press Control on the keyboard, I select the second line and the third line. From Format, I go to Shape Outline. I'm making black so they stand out a bit more. Shape Outline, Weight, and I change them to 3 points. So I've done all the lines. Now I need to find a picture of a star from clip art and paste it and put it between the 2 vertical lines. If you cannot find a picture for clip art, let's just insert the picture through shapes. I click on the star symbol and I draw a star between the 2 lines, and from Format I just make it look like a star, so I change the fill and the outline. Enter your name, sender number, country number at the bottom in a 12-point serif font, which is Times New Roman, at the bottom left, and it should not overlap the lines. So we don't use these 3 text boxes, so let's get rid of them. So I'm going to delete these 3. They will not show in your presentation. I'm going to put my details in a text box. So insert text box, and draw a text box at the bottom, and in here you write your name, comma, center number, and candidate number. Okay, I click on the text box, I change the size to 12 and the font to Times New Roman. You need slide numbers should appear at the bottom right of each slide. So I click on Insert, Text Box, I draw a text box at the bottom right. Make sure the mouse cursor is flashing inside the text box. I click on Insert, Slide Number. That puts the hash symbol inside the text box that will be displayed as a slide number. Okay, so make sure all master slide items appear on all slides and no master slide or slide contents overlap each other. So we got to move these two text boxes so they don't overlap the lines. Well, for the first one, I can make the text box smaller, and for this one, same. I'll make it smaller so it doesn't overlap the line, and I'll just move it up slightly so it doesn't overlap the horizontal line. And I click on the second slide. I will make this box slightly smaller so it doesn't overlap the line, and the subtitle slightly smaller. Ignore these three text boxes at the back, they will not show on your presentation, so it doesn't matter. And I've got nothing else to change, so it's just on the first and second slide I changed. Ignore the other slides. Okay, so you're only going to look at the first and second slide. So now my slide master design is complete. I'm going to close the slide master, then I'm going to import the files. So I'll click on slide master, close master view. Now it's time for me to import the files. So I'll click on new slide, slides from outline. I go into my ICT course, June 2012 2-1, and I have a look at the file it tells me to import, which is JX11 press. JX11 press, I click on it and then click on insert. Okay, here we go. So it's inserted 4 new slides and the top slide is blank. So I'm going to click on the top slide and I'm going to delete the top slide. Another thing I've noticed is that my titles, they become bold and the font type has changed to Cambria after I imported them in. So here, well, you have to take off the bold for each title and make sure the font is Times New Roman. So you might have to manually do this on every slide, but so I take the bold off and I make it Times New Roman. So that's on all the slides. So to change the titles on all the slides. Look at the bullets. My bullets have changed as well. To keep it consistent, I take off the italic and bold and I'll make it Times New Roman as well. So I click on this text box, take off the italic, take off the bold, change the font to Times New Roman. Take off the italic, take off the bold, change the font to Times New Roman, and let's have a look at this one. This one is correct because no information was imported into this text box. So be careful here. After you import the information in, the fonts might change. So you have to change the font of the titles and of the subtitles on each slide. There won't be many slides, so it's okay. So we import the file and it was 4 new slides. Let's go to step number 41. I applied the layout, title and subtitle to the first slide. So I click on the first slide, layout, and this is the title and subtitle. So I click on this. I check that my subtitle is correct. Times New Roman 18, left aligned. Yes, it's correct. Done. Create a pie chart using the data in the file JXII microsales.csv. So now I need to find this file in my folder. So have a look. Here it is, JX11 microsales. I'll open it up. It should open in Microsoft Excel. I'll make the columns slightly larger so I can see all the information. Okay, all it tells me to do is create the pie chart. So I have to decide which columns I select. Okay, I'm not going to select description because I don't want to show on the pie chart description and the number of sales for each description. it makes more sense for me to show model and the number of sales for each model. Okay, so I select model from A3 to A7. I press Control on the keyboard and I select the sales. I haven't selected A2 where it says model and D2 where it says 2011 because this will insert as data inside the pie chart. I don't want that to happen. I only want to show the models for each car and the number of sales for each model. So I'll go to insert now, pie, and I click on a pie chart. So the pie chart has been created. Let's have a look if it tells me to add anything else to this pie chart. Okay, place the chart on slide 4. So it never told me to add a title. It never told me to change the legend or add any data labels. It just wants me to put it onto this slide and the title is already on the slide. So I'm going to right click, copy the pie chart. I'm going to click on slide 4. Then I'm going to right click and paste the pie chart. And I'm going to delete the text box behind it. I'm going to make the pie chart slightly larger so it fills the slide. Add presenter notes to this slide. We are pleased to report good sales of the micro eco model. So presenter notes will be written at the bottom over here. So we are pleased to report good sales of the micro eco model. Apply transitions between the slides. This is when you move from one slide to another. So I click on animations, I click on a transition effect, and I click on apply to all. I press print screen on the keyboard. I will open up Microsoft Word. I call this my evidence and I label it transitions, and I paste my screenshot into my evidence document. Set bullet point animations so they appear one by one. So the second slide, I click on the text box. From animate, I choose it from here by first level paragraph. So all the bullets will come one by one. So I chose by first level paragraph. So I click on the second slide, click on the text box, and from animate I do same thing. Click on by first level paragraph under any animation effect. So here we go, and each bullet point comes up one by one. Okay, I've got to show evidence. I made animation, so I click on custom animation. I click on this arrow to extend to see all my animations. I press print screen, go into my evidence document. I call this animations, and I paste my screenshot into my evidence document. Save the presentation and print all the slides as handouts, 2 slides per page. So I'll click on the office icon, save as a PowerPoint presentation. I go into my work folder and I save it in here. Now to print the presentation as handouts, 2 slides per page. So I click on the office icon, print. From here I choose handouts, and from slides per page I choose 2. Let's preview it. Okay, here we go. So it'll be 2 slides for every page. In the exam I'll press print, then I close print preview. Then I got to print slide 4 on its own, showing the presenter notes. So I go to the office icon, print again, slide number 4 only, and from here I choose slide. Now I choose notes page. The slide will not show me the presenter notes, so I choose notes page, preview it. That's my slide, and this over here is my presenter notes. I print it, then I will close print preview. Okay, let's go back to the, now you've finished the question, so press the save button. I turn off PowerPoint. I'll save my Excel, my pie chart as an Excel workbook. Make sure you're in the correct file, June 2012 21. And I will save my evidence document in my work folder as well, so save as, and I navigate into my work folder, and now press save. So I'll turn these off, and that's the end of the PowerPoint question. So I had got my evidence document and I got my PowerPoint, and that's finished.